Hopefully we won't take too much of your time, but it was really important for us as an association who covers the territory between Leeds and Greville and Lanark and Kingston, Frontenac and Addington to try to recognize the efforts of those who advocate for peace in our community. And with that in mind, I'd like to just start with a reconciliation statement. I'd like to begin today by acknowledging that we are gathering on the traditional territory of the Wendat, Anishinaabe, and Haudenosaunee peoples. I would like to acknowledge that this territory continues to be an important gathering place for many First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and we thank them for their stewardship of this land. So I'd like to welcome Dr. Stewart and Linda Murray, who represent the public health offices. Thank you for joining us today. As the YMCA of Eastern Ontario recognizes Peace Week, we're awarding 2 Peace Medals and only 2 Peace Medals this year. And they're going to both of your organizations. And I know that you're representing many who have worked tirelessly, who've missed many hours with their own families, and for a lack of better terms, have probably grown stronger as your own families within your own offices. The background on the Peace Medal is to give you some background is that Peace Week is celebrated by YMCAs across the country and around the world every year. In 1984, YMCA Canada began the national program to commemorate this week in Canada. 3 years later, the Peace Medal medallion was introduced. It recognizes the efforts of individuals, organizations who build peace within their communities. Acts of peace can be big or small. Either way, they tend to grow outward, creating ripples through the whole community. And I think with your efforts throughout this pandemic, and as we're heading into a challenging time into Christmas time and the new year, and as the vaccine gets rolled out, your messaging really does send peace throughout the communities. It makes us think about our actions. It makes us respect each other, and it respects the issue that's at hand. This year's medals, as we navigate through 2020, YMCA Peace Week takes a new meaning illustrating how the ongoing work of building peace needs to continue more than ever. COVID-19 is challenging us as individuals and communities, and as a country, to act together and to care for one another to grapple with this virus. Peace Week calls to build community and act for peace. When we do this, we build stronger and healthier communities. We could think of no better organization to exemplify building stronger and healthy communities than our public health units. You and your staffs work tirelessly throughout this year, missing vacations and time with your families, as I already spoke about, and sometimes have to handle negativity as well. And you still have to move forward, creating that message, carrying that message forward. I know that my staff is very grateful to public health for the guidance while we operated our emergency childcare service and then opened our regular childcare first services. Your guidance has helped us with our reopening in September, and you have continuously offered advice to help us sustain and maintain a safety environment for our communities. I know that I speak for Brittany and Emily, who are general managers of our fitness and wellness facilities, who probably talk to public health at least a minimum of twice a week, at a minimum. And I know I send communications to public health probably weekly, and hopefully it doesn't get tossed because you're sick and tired of hearing from me. But without the quick access to pick up a call or return our calls, we would be lost and we would be nervous on how to operate. Even if it's just a quick call for us to run our ideas by you or say, are we on the right track? And then we often hear so far, no, that's great. And then even when you're acknowledging the fact that we are now sometimes being called by public health to see clarification of how we're operating before other facilities like ours open, to see what our practices have been. So we're really proud of this relationship. And I think we've really established a strong partnership once even we get beyond this. So thank you for everything you do for our communities. I hold up this peace medal and I ask both of you, if you have it in your possession, to hold it up and know that Dr. Stewart mentioned something, Linda, just before you came on, that this is something that public health trains for and is ready for. And, you know, I spoke to my team months ago when we were thinking about reopening and looking at how ways to serve differently, whether it's working at food banks or making those calls. Public health and the YMCA is exactly where we're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's what the YMCA's history is all about. The YMCA has been over 160 years. So we weren't always a pool and a gym, we served. And that's what you're doing too. So I think together, we're exactly where we need to be, even as tough as it is. So I'm gonna just leave it there and thank you so, so much. And I'll pass it off to Dr. Stewart if you'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, thank you so much for this honor. It truly is an honor. And coming from one of our wonderful partners, I was reflecting on that the Y had a huge impact on my husband when he was in his teenage years. And the last time I was there, we were talking about the walking school bus. And the Y has just been so generous with their energy, with their willingness to meet, their ideas about moving forward. And Jane has lots and lots of ideas about that. So coming from an organization that we truly respect, it's even more special. And I think that I love the concept of peace, and it's peace of mind, and that our world has been turned upside down. Things that we're used to aren't there anymore, and people have been challenged to come up with new ways of doing what they need to do, new ways of finding joy, being creative with how they can connect with others, and that's all so that you do have peace of mind. And we've been thrilled and honored to be part of it. You're right, we do train for this, and our staff are amazing. They are so dedicated. They go the extra mile. I get the stories where a mom's having trouble isolating with her little baby, and they're being creative about how they help that person find some peace of mind while they're isolating. That there's a long-term care home that is really concerned about what's happening, and the nurses and inspectors go there to give them peace of mind, to help them understand that the path forward is going to make a difference. The health inspectors who go out to the restaurants, just like you said, are the businesses, like that really all is a critical part of health. And we are honored to be part of this whole initiative. And I think your words about people caring for each other is so important. We work with so many different organizations so they can do their work, whether it's education, whether it's municipalities, whether it's the businesses. So we all are connected for this. And I think the true heroes in all this are people in our communities that have given up things that they like to do so that they can keep themselves and others safe. So thank you for the award. It's very meaningful for us. And if anyone is listening in the community, thank you for supporting public health. Thank you for supporting the messages. Thank you for all the work that you do with us. Together, we will make it through this.
Thanks, Dr. Stewart. Linda, would you like to say a few words?
Yes. So I'm honored to accept the Peace Medal from the YMCA on behalf of all of our staff and volunteers at KFLNA Public Health. Dr. Moore is on a teleconference with the province, otherwise he would have been honored to be here in person. But we really share this award with all the communities that we serve in our region. If everybody has embraced the public health measures that we've put in place, regardless of any of the hardships that it's brought to them. And because of that, that's helped us better able to do our job of keeping, everyone safe in our community. So really, without the diligence of every member in our region, we wouldn't be, we've kept, pretty much kept COVID at bay, which is great until now. But it's really been a huge regional effort, I think. And I know that for many people, it has brought hardships, and we've all had to change the way we do things. And now with the holiday season coming up, You know, we are going to have to learn different ways of celebrating for this year, but also keeping in mind that we do still have to stay connected with others virtually for our own mental health. But we recognize that people in our communities are getting a little bit more anxious with the rise of the COVID numbers. But, you know, if the community just continues to stay, to keep the safety measures in place that we already have, then we'll be able to do our jobs and help flatten the curve of this second wave that we're experiencing right now. And that means limiting the spread and protecting our most vulnerable. And certainly this award really is for the staff and the volunteers as well, because I'm relatively new to public health. And although this is what we always train for, I'm overwhelmed at the commitment and the dedication that all of our staff and volunteers have shown during this time. I mean, people have given up holidays, vacations, family time, and because of that, we've been able to keep our case and contact management, contact tracing. It's enabled us to be better able to do our job as an organization. So yeah, we're very pleased with the YMCA and your opportunity, I think, too, to be able to even get, you know, the more that we, that others learn about us and what we do through media, that this is also very important for our community in terms of communicating with them. So yeah, we're very pleased to accept this from the Y. And if I could just say, if this is going out to community members in our region, we would like to wish everybody a very safe and happy holidays, even though things won't be the same. But I'd just like to remind people to stay home, to remember to use the safety precautions that are already in place, and to virtually reach out to others if people are struggling at this time.
That's great.
But we're very honored.
Well, to share with you, this is being recorded and we will be sharing this through our social media pages and our website. And Colleen, I don't know the technology side of things, but if we have the ability to send it to your units, we'll do that. Dr. Stewart, it's okay. I'm not going to put Jane on the spot, but I know she is a senior leader, and full transparency that as you're talking about your staff who leave their homes to go visit like a long-term care facility, there's been many a night when I've maybe emailed Jane and said, hey, are you up? Can we talk? And whether she's up or not, we talk. And so, Jane, maybe if you have any words, I don't want to leave you out in the lurch. So if that's okay, Dr. Stewart, feel free to speak, Jane.
Yeah, no, I usually am up. My phone doesn't go to bed with me, so if I answer it, I'm awake. And I do appreciate the partnership we've had with the Y over the years, but it's even more significant since we've been into COVID. And I think we have a very symbiotic relationship on how to do the best we can for the community. We've done a lot of work around children and youth, and we've talked a lot about homelessness and warming shelters and those kinds of things. But certainly it's been, you've been a great partner on that. This award is amazing, and it does reflect the hard work of all of our staff that they can, they put forth every day. Right now we're in the process of switching to a Sunday to Thursday, Tuesday to Saturday schedule to try to keep our case and contact number people up on the weekends because our numbers have gone up. And that right at Christmas time, that's really tough for families to cope with. But I was looking at the schedule just now, and with rare exception, everyone's come forward and chosen one of those two shifts, and we should be fine for over the holidays. So yeah, we have a great partnership, and thank you very much for this award. And I will make sure that our staff really understand what it's all about, and the concept of peace makes good sense.
Yeah. Well, thank you to everybody, and please know that as you're tackling this and you're wondering if there's any support that's out there, and if you do believe that there's some support that's required, and you think that the Y can support you in any way, we want you to call us. And if there's a fit, great. If there's not, that's okay too. but there's always a conversation that can be had. So please feel free to reach out and pass on our congratulations to everybody at your health unit. So I know each of you probably have a call to make, or a provincial call, or a premier to talk to, or whatever. But we'll leave you, and God bless, and have a great holiday season. And thank you again for everything you've done for us to make sure we open safely and we just mimic what you want us to do. So thanks so much.